All right, internet. Okay. So this movie came out earlier the year. I just watched it on DVD, so I'm going to talk about it because I hate is a strong word, but I did not care for it. That movie, Fist Fight. So Fist Fight tells the story of Charlie Day's character here, some English teacher, who is essentially kind of, one of those people who lets himself get pushed around a lot. Who works at one of the worst schools ever, where the students are completely out of control and everything is totally underfunded and they're cutting everything, combined with where he ends up on the negative side of Ice Cube's teacher, who is insane. Like, clearly has a personality disorder, violent, aggressive, fucked up individual. You know, positive representation for him, whatnot. Now, to be fair, let me start this off by saying this movie features a lot of people I like a lot. A lot of people I've seen do lots of funny stuff. Um, Ice Cube does a lot of the same shtick that he does in this movie that he did in 21 and 22 Jump Street. That being said, I don't think it works as well as here. I don't. I really don't. And then, of course, we have Charlie Day's character, which I love Charlie Day. Love him. Movie's got tons of other comedians. The only person who seems totally unnecessary and out of place is, I want to say she's the redheaded chick from Mad Men, although I don't really watch that show. Her character has no purpose. None. Does not belong, does not need to be there. Not, just doesn't add anything to the movie. You could literally have cut her out and would have lost nothing. She adds literally nothing. We get it, movie. She's a crazy bitch. Whatever. She wasn't important for anything. Well, it's also got the one girl from Workaholics. I know I should really use IMDb to look at people's names before I make these, but I don't. I'll work on it. Maybe I will. Who knows? So back to Fist Fight. So that's the basic premise of the movie, and here's why I don't like it. There's actually two basic reasons. One is it's actually a really dark concept, and the movie does not value, appreciate, or present it as a dark concept. It just doesn't. No, I didn't. At no point. It plays it completely like your standard Hollywood comedy, except it's not about partying or going on a road trip or coming of age. No, it's about two grown men, one of whom has declared that he will physically assault another person, and the other person has no choice but to fight him. He threatens Charlie Day's entire family if he backs out of the fight. Like, here's the thing. The movie wants us to experience this as a learning journey for Charlie Day's character. And I just can't get behind that because Ice Cube's character needs to learn a lot more than him and learns nothing. Absolutely fucking nothing. Ice Cube learns fucking nothing. The movie's presented as this journey for Charlie Day's character to stand up for himself. Well, except you didn't stand up for yourself, Charlie Day. If you did stand up for yourself, you would never fight Ice Cube. You would present it to him as, no, I'm not fucking fighting you. I'm an adult. This is not what adults do. I'm going home. Screw you. Because that would have been standing up for yourself. By fighting Ice Cube, you're not actually standing up for yourself. You're feeding into what Ice Cube wants you to do. The movie also wraps into this inane reasoning for why Ice Cube wants to do this. It is that his teacher is hoping that if they fight and it's a big deal, that the school board will see that they pitted teachers against each other and have to do something about it. That's the stupidest fucking thing I've ever heard. It is the stupidest fucking thing I've ever heard. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, it would probably get the type of attention that Ice Cube wants, but like, we'll get back to that. I'm going to come back to that. Let's go back to the fact that this movie's darker than it does not embrace the fact that it is dark. Because it is dark. That's a dark idea. And the movie at no point considers this a dark idea. The movie presents it like Charlie Day fighting this guy is totally the adult move. It's not. Here's the other thing that bothers me about this movie. And one person threatening to assault another person is a legitimate concern. That's a problem. That's not something that should be allowed in society. I genuinely believe that. And I'm saying that as someone who has been assaulted. I'm saying that as someone who has been in a physical fist fight as an adult, that where I intervened to protect other people. Fist fights are stupid. They're not sporting. Sports are a completely different thing. Not going to go into that right now. Throughout the movie, everyone treats Charlie Day like he should just fight the guy. And in fact, the movie's setup and build up even suggests this. Like, if he were to fight Ice Cube early on, basically we're subjected to a torturous first half of this movie. Actually, probably 2/3 of the movie, where Charlie Day just tries to keep coming up with these inane schemes where he's trying to get out of fighting Ice Cube. And at a certain point, that's just exhausting. Like, because every time it happens, there's never a point in my brain where I'm like, that'll work. They're all obviously bad ideas. And if there's no surprise to their failure, there's not actually comedy to them. If they don't present things that are surprising to them, how are these shenanigans actually funny? And they're not. It's tiring. It's exhausting to see him do things where you're like, nope, that's going to fail. Nope, it's going to fail. Nope, it's going to fail. He's just going to make it worse on himself every time. That's exhausting for me as a movie viewer. I find that exhausting when I already know the outcome of this scenario. And yet I have to watch it anyways. It's not funny, it's exhausting. Now all that exhausting work does eventually build up to a somewhat enjoyable payoff where he like starts staying up to people. Because at a certain point, you need that because you've been building it the fuck up the whole movie. And there are some funny moments throughout the movie, and most of the cast actually seems like they're having a pretty good time and doing an all right job with it. That being said, the ending is shit. The ending is pure Hollywood fucking bullshit. The movie at no point embraces how dark its concept is. It's just, the movie just thinks it's a lighthearted comedy. But I don't want to watch a lighthearted comedy about something that is inherently dark. If you're gonna do a dark comedy, do a fucking dark comedy. This movie should have been made by the people who made Foot Fist Way and Observe and Report. People who can handle this type of dark comedy. Whoever these people are just too mainstream Hollywood to do dark. And that's essentially the major problem with this movie. So much of the film relies on the idea of us wanting to laugh at the weak, who are being subjugated by cruel people. That's the other thing that bothers me about this movie, is the suggestion of this movie is that humans are basically shit. But it doesn't act like that's what it's implying. But that's what's happening in the film. At no point does anyone say, man, that guy wants to fight you? That's dumb. No, people cheer him on. People goad him up. They create a hashtag to encourage the fight. He calls the police and the dispatchers laugh in his face, telling him he's just going to have to fight. Like, I don't want to watch that. That's exhausting. It's not funny, it's exhausting. Especially when it's presented in a manner where it's supposed to be lighthearted. if this were dark, if it were satirical at all, and it's not, by the way, it's not satirical, it has nothing of value to say about society, it would be another thing, but it's not. Also, just to point out this dumb, stupid shit, how come Charlie Day's wife and kids are the only people in this town who don't know this fight is a thing that's happening? Like, literally, it gets broadcast on the news, the hashtag goes viral, strangers keep mentioning it to him, not realizing he's the guy. So, like, how does his wife and daughter not know this is a thing that's happening? How? How? How do they not know? Everyone knows. Literally everyone knows. How does the principal not know, for that matter, actually? How are people not knowing at any point? It's just inane. It's just an inane thing. Okay. I give it a 5. I know I've made it sound much worse than a 5. But it's got a lot of funny people in it, and it has some amusing points. So I'm not going to say it's totally unwatchable. It has its watchable moments. But overall, I cannot give this a win. It's a 5. Now I'm going to go into the ending. So just in case you even give a shit about seeing this movie, 3, 2, 1 spoilers. I'm going to talk about the shitty ending. If you don't want to hear about the shitty ending, turn it off right now. At the end of the movie, they fight. Charlie Day beats up. They have an epic fight, including him hitting Ice Cube in the head with a goddamn fire extinguisher. Whatever. And then he gets punched out at the last minute by Ice Cube. Then Ice Cube finds out his wife is in labor and takes him to the hospital. Here's the thing. The movie has no balls. The movie has no fucking balls. Because the ending is fucking Hollywood garbage. Here's how it ends. They get everything they wanted. The fight goes viral. Ice Cube's insane plan works. They have to rehire Charlie Day and Ice Cube's characters to the school. Charlie Day and Ice Cube's characters get everything they want by beating the living shit out of each other. Fuck that ending. Fuck it. That's a fucking bullshit ending. That ending is a lie. You know why? Because only in sporting events does that work. I've seen real fist fights. I've been in real fist fights. You don't get shit out of them. Except a little bit of stress taking a little bit of your life away. Because that's what a real fist fight is. No, at the end they get everything they want. Here's the real ending. Here's the balls ending. Here's the ending I would have given this movie and why they would never have let me direct it. At the end of the movie, Ice Cube gives Charlie Day... They have their fight, and Charlie Day wins. Beats the hell out of him. And goes off into the sunset. Until we realize that he actually received a horrific brain injury and is in a coma. And Ice Cube goes to jail. That's how I would have ended it. Because that's what would happen. No, when you see the fight that they actually have, that's a fight that would lead to chronic brain injuries. There's no way it wouldn't. That's how I would end the movie. Dark. I would figure out how to make that ending funny. Or ironic. Or satirical. Or make it say something. Something other than man up and punch people in the face. Because that's the ultimate lesson of the movie. That's the ultimate moral of the story, is that Charlie Day's character needed to man up and be violent. That's literally where the entire movie goes. And you might say, oh no, the moral of the story is he's got to stand up for himself, and he learns to stand up for himself. Yeah, Or does he? No. By agreeing to fight Ice Cube, I say he doesn't. You know what? Fuck it. I'll give it a 4. If you stop before the spoilers, you don't know that. But fuck it. I give it a 4. Fist fight with Charlie Day and Ice Cube. It's literally everything wrong with America. It's a movie that espouses that the weak are weak and either need to learn to man up or be destroyed. It wants us to laugh at people simply because they don't want violence. And it presents it all in this way that makes it seem like this should be a happy, regular comedy where you're not thinking too hard about it. Because the movie doesn't want you to think too hard about it. Because if you did, you might realize this is a movie that is complete, that is nihilistically awful, and presents nothing of value to the human race. There's a million different ways to learn that you need to stand up for yourself. Being taunted into a fist fight with a psychopath might work, but I don't want to watch a movie about it. At least not done like this. Fist fight. Fuck that movie. Like, subscribe, comment, turn on notifications. Thank you very much.